Arsenal won, Manchester City won, and to be honest, it was, we saved a point in the end, but we should really be winning games like this. Manchester City were there for the taking. And what do? Yet another negative lineup selection from the manager. Another poor lineup selection. I'm tired of seeing Marino at cam when Odegaard's not fit. Where's Ranieri? Where's Eze? Okay, I don't like that. And then Trossard on the left wing, really? I understand he had a good performance against Bilbao, but we need to be ruthless with our team selections. We can't, yes, he had a good performance, but Bilbao is not Manchester City. And we turned up against Manchester City, and we started Trossard on the left and Marino in the cam. And to me, that's straight up negativity from Arteta. It's negativity. It's him basically telling us, let's not lose this game. And I felt like in that first half, we didn't create anything. I saw a stat, we had 0 XG in the first 30 minutes of the game. We didn't have a shot on target until late in the first half. So I don't understand why we go into the game with no Eze, no Ranieri. Even if you wanted to start Martinelli, who ended up coming off the bench and scoring, by the way, but even if you wanted to start Martinelli on the left-hand side to get pace in behind, I would have understood that. But you can't start Marino, and in my opinion, you can't start Trossard, and that's what killed us. Listen, Manchester City got the early goal through Haaland, and it's a typical Haaland goal, in transition. Completely flies by Gabriel. Saliba has to make a decision. Does he close down the ball or does he take care of the run from Haaland? And he decided to try to close down the ball. Reinders played the pass to Haaland, and Haaland with his right foot slides it in. 1-0 Manchester City. And, before that point, we were on top. After they scored, we were on top. But we didn't have any cutting edge. And at the end of the day, that's what killed us. Haaland scores, and then for the rest of the game, it's us trying to break Manchester City down. And for the most part, we couldn't do it. Until Gabriel Martinelli comes on, Eze comes on at halftime, Saka comes on at halftime, and Eze, with that pass over the top to Martinelli, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful pass. Where was that creativity from the start? Why didn't we have Eze in from the start? We had Marino, who will never, ever in his life play those kinds of passes. And you have somebody on the bench who can unlock a defense just like that. Bang. And that's what Eze did. So shout out to Eze and shout out to Martinelli. Martinelli saved our ass again. Martinelli comes through again with another goal. I want to see Martinelli continue to play well. I want to see him push for that left wing spot, because if we can get Martinelli back to his 22-23 form, then we'll have great competition on that left-hand side, and it'll be good problems for Mikel Arteta in terms of team selection. But when you come into a game with that negative formation, or no, not with the negative formation, with the negative lineup, it tells me that you don't want that you have more focus on not losing than winning. And if we're going to win the league, we're going to have to attack teams home and away. We can't keep sitting back. But again, I told you guys, this is why I think Mikel Arteta won't win Arsenal a league title. Because he's too pragmatic in these games. He's too cautious. And, I feel like Gyökeres, completely irrelevant in the game today. Completely irrelevant. Not a lot of service. His hold-up play was okay. But no passes in behind. A couple of balls in the channel that he held up and played back. But nothing to threaten Manchester City through the middle. Trossard was poor. Well, no, I don't think he was poor. I think he was average. And in a game like that, we need better than average. He didn't do much. Nani Madueke was okay. But I need to see more end product. And he was our only outlet again. Midweek, he was the only outlet. Against Nottingham Forest, he played really, really well. But today, he was getting doubled up on that right-hand side. And Manchester City knew that Madueke was the only threat. They knew that Trossard wasn't a threat. They knew if they could congest the middle, that Gyökeres wouldn't be a threat because we wouldn't break the lines. We wouldn't play balls in behind. And at the end of the day, the time we did play a ball in behind, we scored. It was right down the center of the pitch. Martinelli makes a great run. Eze plays the ball, and it's 1-1, and it finishes 1-1. And honestly, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the game, would you take a point? I'd say hell no. But at the end of the game, I'm happy with a point because we were 1-0 down for, 85 minutes? And it didn't look like we were going to break them down. So I'm very disappointed in Arteta. This is why I don't think he's the type of manager to win us the league, because of decisions like these. And overall, we without Saka, without Eze starting, we don't have enough cutting edge. Without Odegaard in the team, we don't have enough cutting edge going forward to trouble the top teams. And that's the issue. So Arteta signs Eze for $67 million, doesn't start him. Arteta, re-signs Ranieri to a new contract, doesn't start him. He's fixated on Merino in this cam when Odegaard is out because Merino scored 3 goals for Spain against Turkey. International football is completely different from club football. Turkey is a different opposition than Manchester City. And he knows this, but yet he still persists with it. He persisted with it against Liverpool, and it created nothing. So after that Liverpool game, Arteta should have realized this doesn't work. Let's go with something different. But he didn't do that. And we paid the price today by not collecting all 3 points. So anyway, I'm very disappointed. This is a game we have to, we should be winning. Now we're 5 points behind Liverpool already. 5 games played, 5 points behind. Liverpool, even though they've had tight games, they're not playing well yet. So imagine when they start to play well, what it'll look like. And again, because of decisions like these from the manager, I don't think we're going to win the league. So it's a problem. Anyway, that's the match reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the play ratings. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.